Oh, hey, I was just working on my resume in case this real estate thing doesn't work out. Today, what I'd like to talk about is jobs data, which is perhaps interesting if you're thinking about moving to the Cambridge area to know what are the different industries, what does employment look like in Cambridge. So I'm Lou Gordon with Century 21 Revolution, and what kind of spurred this for me today is I saw a report about Massachusetts jobs data, and I'm gonna read some figures today, so you're gonna see me look over at the screen a little bit. But there was a report that just came out from a company called Wallet Hub, and they're saying that Massachusetts is #1 for people who are looking for a job. So some of the criteria that they were using here, so they said that the Bay State ranked #1 in the nation for worker protections like equal pay mandates, pay secrecy, flexible scheduling, and protections for pregnant or breastfeeding women or those with no salary history. So our number of available jobs increases by about 2.4% per year, which is the 4th highest in the nation. So there's going to be more opportunities in the future. And then once people get jobs, based on this data, they're likely to keep them as the state has the 3rd best job security. And to top things off, Massachusetts has the 3rd lowest percentage of the workforce living in poverty, which demonstrates that workers are generally receiving reasonable pay. So I decided to dig in a little bit and see, what does that jobs data look like in the city of Cambridge? And we're going to look at this from a few different angles. So #1, who are the top 25 employers in Massachusetts? And we're actually going to narrow this down a little bit, and we're just going to talk about the top 10. So #1, perhaps unsurprisingly, Harvard University. And this data is pulled from 2024, so these numbers might be a little bit different now. But as of a year ago, Harvard was #1. It employs about 13,600 people. #2, MIT, employs about 9,300 people. And then going down from there, we get out of higher education and into more of the types of industries that you would think would be high employers in Cambridge. So #3 is the Cambridge Innovation Center, which is a startup incubator, employs about 5,000 people. #4 is actually the city of Cambridge. There are 3,800 government jobs. And then now we're starting to get more into the sectors that you would expect. So #5, Takeda Pharmaceuticals, biotech, employs 3,300 people. The Broad Institute, research and development, also employing about 3,300 people. And then from there, you've got Sanofi, Novartis, each of them employs about 2,200 people. And then you've got Google at #9, about 2,100 people. And then #10, Cambridge Health Alliance, which is healthcare, employing about 1,900 people. So when you look at employment data in Cambridge, we tend to do a little bit better than the state of Massachusetts as a whole in terms of unemployment. So data pulled from August of this year, of 2025, lists a labor force of about 75,200 people. And of those, 72,300 are employed. So you've got about little under 3,000 people who are unemployed, which gives you an area rate of about 3.9%. But you compare that to the state of Massachusetts as a whole, which is about 4.7%. And those numbers, that I'm looking at from mass.gov, so this is a state database, they're tracking this monthly, and this goes back about a year. And we tend to perform in Cambridge about 8% better on unemployment, or 0.8%, I'm sorry, better than the state as a whole. So in July, the unemployment rate was 4% in Cambridge, 4.8 in Massachusetts. The highest that I'm seeing on this list is from May of this year. You had about 4.5% unemployment in Cambridge and 5.2% in the state of Mass. But overall, city of Cambridge residents tend to be more employed than looking at the state as a whole. The other data that's on here are the total wages that are being paid out to different workers in these different industries. So I made a list of top industries by total wages being paid. So Number one, as a broad sort of catch-all, is service providing industry, which is paying out annually about $7.5 billion in wages. And under that, number two, you've got information. So these are in no particular order, but these are kind of the top four. So you've got information paying out about $1 billion in wages, professional and business services about 4.3 billion, and education and health services about 1.2 billion. And then subcategories under there. So professional and technical services are paying out about 4 billion in wages, and scientific research and development services about 3 billion. They kind of break them down by average weekly wages. So some of these industries, manufacturing is paying out about $9,000 in average weekly wages, non-durable goods manufacturing about 10,000, chemical manufacturing about 14,000. So there are some industries in here that are really paying out very well. And it's not that way across the board. You know, you have other sectors in here like electronic markets and agents and brokers paying out about $2,500 weekly. But in general, you've got some very high dollar industries that are operating in Cambridge. And, you know, as we said, the unemployment numbers are fairly lower. So people that work in the area or live in the area tend to have jobs. If they have jobs in some of these top industries, then they are generally being paid pretty well. For the housing data, looking back at 2024, so they had the nominal 3-bedroom median rent was about $4,000 a month, 2-bedroom rent around $3,000, and 1-bedroom rent about $2,500. So we do tend to run a little bit more expensive than the Boston area and Massachusetts as a whole. Certainly there are other towns that are more expensive than Cambridge, but this gives you a general idea of kind of what the jobs market might look like if you're someone who's thinking about moving to Cambridge and you're wondering what your opportunities in the area might be. Those are the sectors that tend to do very well. If you'd like to talk about how this might relate to your housing needs, please feel free to reach out. We'd love to have a conversation about whether or not Cambridge is the right fit for you, and if so, if we can get you into a great home there. Look forward to talking to you soon.